pleasure to welcome Seema Chaturvedi. She is a local mentor, a successful entrepreneur in her own right. She is the managing director of Accelerator Group, and she's been the founding member of TIE Detroit and been also on the board of TIE Global. Seema, again, a pleasure to welcome you.
Great seeing you again.
So let's talk about some of the activity that you are involved in with your company. Last year we were in the throes of, one of the biggest recessions we have seen in our lifetimes.
Right.
But things are picking up. Entrepreneurial activity is key for the economic engine to keep moving forward.
Yes.
I wanted you to share some of the experience in the last 1 year that you have encountered with the budding entrepreneurs.
I'm seeing an uptick in entrepreneurship. In fact, just yesterday we were at a session talking about the fact that a lot of, and Kanwal Rekhi was here and he was talking about how you should take advantage of the fact that there's blood on the streets and you've hit absolute rock bottom and the only way up is up. So taking advantage of that, I think by default a lot of people have had to turn to entrepreneurship and are discovering that that's actually not such a bad thing. In fact, today's conference is all about promoting entrepreneurship, and Michigan really will benefit from something that can help a broader base of revenue generation as opposed to an employee base of, as Kanwal called it, managers. So we think there is some positive optimism, as I've been speaking with people around, of a turnaround in the markets.
But entrepreneurship has taken to a different level. It's global now because the level, playing field is so much level.
Yes.
Most of the people who are either professionals or aspiring entrepreneurs, they don't necessarily stick to their place of origin. I mean, there's huge, outflow of professionals from this region and so are from other regions around the country.
Yes.
And they're going international because there's so much collaboration happening on a global scale.
Right.
I'm sure you also advise people on those levels. Right?
Absolutely. In fact, we are pretty active in cross-border deal making. So as a firm, our firm does get involved in helping companies from India access North American companies access India, and we are seeing that trickle across different levels. Most of our particular clients are later stage companies, but there is a greater need actually to be present globally for some of the industries that we service, because people have realized that you need to be able to de-risk yourself by diversifying geographically to the extent your resources allow. And that's what we are seeing happen a lot. National boundaries are kind of diminishing, and so it has become more seamless. And we are seeing a lot of interest. In fact, my participation today was in a session called Global Transactions, where 2008 was a bad year, 2009 everything came to a screeching halt. We are seeing an uptake of companies and individuals saying, how can my business model increasingly include geographies beyond my current reach?
And if I may ask you to lay out a couple of advantages of being global, because when you're starting out, entrepreneurs typically think I should stick to my funding, my resources within my domain.
Yeah.
They don't reach out, but I'm sure there are certain advantages even at that initial stage when you're starting out.
Yeah, it is true as entrepreneurs to stick to the knitting. You have to be local, but your markets do not need to be, increasingly. And that's what entrepreneurs are recognizing. I have to say that most of our clients are late stage, so we do operate from that vantage point, and we are seeing most of the companies indicating that they need to be global just to either keep up with customers. In fact, the points that I covered of why is it that North American companies are looking to go to India, for example, which is a subject that we talk a lot about. What may have initially started off as just an outsourcing for low cost, that driver very quickly went away. It was replaced by, oh, India is such a great market, we should be selling into that. That driver is also going away. I actually, speaking of startups, a great example is a guy came up to me after the session saying, I have this cool innovative technology. Do you think India's going to be able to accept that? And that is becoming the driver for expanding even at an early stage level, where entrepreneurs are discovering that what may not necessarily scale up so quickly in a particular geography may find application. So the reason to go to India is increasingly also becoming innovation, which was typically not there. People typically looked at the West for innovation, that is changing very rapidly. In fact, I was talking to a private equity guy yesterday who said the whole thesis of his fund was tech transfer. And I said, oh, so you're taking companies from North America to India? And he said, no, it's getting innovative concept from India to North America. So the situation is extremely fluid.
And you've been around this ecosystem for a long time, so I wanted to understand from your perspective, markets like Michigan, which are struggling to come out of the throes of recession, and when you compare to regions around the world, like starting with Silicon Valley and going to Boston and to other parts of the world, are there some subtle differences wherein entrepreneurs face some different challenges compared to the entrepreneurs in other regions?
Michigan versus other regions? Recognize that Michigan was dominated by the automotive industry, which by definition requires scale. Having said that, there were always a lot of mom and pop shops that were bending metal, injecting plastic, etc. That has given way to more organized suppliers. But having said that, Michigan itself is changing. So it's no longer about only automotive. It has a very robust life sciences corridor, alternative energy. We have a lot of solar companies that are tapping into solar technology. So people are finding those niches to be far more productive and doable at a small scale. And that is really what the Route 128s and California have afforded to, or the research triangles typically traditionally afforded to entrepreneurs, was you can start anything in your garage and build that up. And now, given the thrust to other areas, other industries, Michigan entrepreneurs are also recognizing that. So you'll see a lot of companies out there today in life sciences. In fact, I'm told that some of the winners of the TIE 20 awards are life sciences companies. So that's testimony to the fact that Michigan is evolving in its de-risking from just the one industry focus.
Seema, thank you for sharing your time and continued success.
Thank you, Matej. All right.